Hello and welcome to the week ahead reading. So I'm going to start with an astrology reading and I'm going to go into a tarot reading to talk all about the energies of this week. So starting off with, we've just had the sun move into Libra. So that happened yesterday, I believe. So we just started Libra season. Welcome. And also it was the equinox as well. So we've shifted from summer into autumn now. So, don't know about you, but I'm definitely feeling like the autumnness of it all. I really want to change my altar. I need to sort it out. It's over there. But yeah, starting to bring in really different elements now. So things being cozier, getting more different colors in the house. I'm really feeling that kind of autumn energy. And yeah, sun moving into Libra is all about the season for relationships. So Libra is the scales, the balancing of the scales, bringing balance back, bringing harmony to relationships. A very relational sign. Libra's ruler is Venus, and Venus is all about relationships and beauty and yeah. So also you might find yourself being more drawn to creative endeavors as well, because Venus is Libra's ruler and making things beautiful. It's more in the realms of aesthetics, right? So lots of Libra energy. Somebody who has lots of Libra energy makes me think of someone who might be a designer or something. So yeah, so making things beautiful, making your home beautiful, changing your home. I'm really feeling that sort of oh yeah, I want to make things nice and change it and freshen things up again. And obviously with it being an equinox as well, so whether you're in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, so it'll be changing seasons depending on where you are. For me, it's changing into autumn, but it might be changing into spring depending on where you are. But it's always that time for change again, right? So change has been a huge theme. We've just had the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, which was all about change and letting go. And there's a huge theme still of this sort of letting go of what needs to be shed, what needs to start coming away now. You know, when we see autumn in nature, we see the trees starting to let their leaves drop, right? So the leaves are dropping, things are being shed, it's not fully in bloom anymore, things are starting to come away, and looking at what we need to remove from our lives. So if you didn't already get the big shake up from the eclipse, you might start feeling it more now, in terms of really being asked to actually think about what it is that we don't need anymore, that needs to go. So we've also got Venus on the same day that the sun moved into Libra. Venus moved into Scorpio. So Venus in Scorpio is sort of an interesting one because it's said to be in its detriment, which again, I don't like to think of these things as good and bad. I think it's just where it's just useful to kind of understand how Venus operates in certain signs. So Scorpio loves to go deep. Scorpio is all the shadow realms, all the unseen realms, right? Like Pisces, because they're both water elements, but Scorpio is more in that kind of shadowier, darker sort of territory, where Venus is not so much about the depths. Venus's rulers are Libra and Taurus. They're a little bit more kind of less concerned about going really deep and a bit gentler than Scorpio, let's say. So Scorpio's ruler is actually Mars and also Pluto. It's got a dual ruler. So Venus in Scorpio is really asking us to get very honest about what it is that we really want underneath the layers. So what I mean by that is what our shadow desires are. What is underneath, what do we really want? What is it that we're not allowing ourselves to see in terms of what we truly desire, and trusting what our desires actually are and going forth to do them, to bring them into manifest. So there's a shedding that needs to happen in order for us to go more towards our true desires. That's really what this transit's going to be about. So Venus will be in Scorpio for a while, so it's only just started, but you might see while Venus is going through Scorpio this kind of theme around our shadowy, sort of more asking ourselves the deeper questions of what do I really want? What is it that's stopping me from doing the things that I actually want and moving towards those things? Where am I not believing in myself? Where am I not unworthiness things may come up around this time as well, of like where you don't feel worthy of something, and it's going to be pushing us to really change our beliefs around this, right? We've also got a lot of mercurial energy this week, so Mercury's doing lots of different things. So Mercury is the mind. Mercury is about, yeah, getting our mind in the right place, changing our mindset, changing our beliefs, our thoughts, our attitudes. We're going to be really asked to kind of get our mind in the right place so that we can move towards our true desires. Okay. And also Mercury is going to be moving into Libra, so it's moving out of Virgo, which is where it really likes to be. So it's been in a very strong position recently. You might have found that communication has been easier with this transit. And then moving into Libra. So it doesn't do badly in Libra particularly, but yeah, it's a different kind of energy. It's going to be all of this Libra energy with the Sun in Libra and Mercury in Libra. More of this focus on relationships. So relationships feel like they're going to be really highlighted around this time. Like you might be having more conversations around your relationships, like talking about relationships in conversation, or you might find it easier to establish better relationships, like because there's more support around that. There's more of this kind of Libran energy. And also but something to look out for, the shadow side of Libra, is that the Libra can be in its shadow side quite codependent. So the opposite, or it's like on the axis of Libra, is Libra and Aries. And Aries is all about independence, about asserting ourselves, about boundaries, about being very clear on who we are and what we want. Libra is much more about the other, about relationships, about being concerned about other people. So both of them have a lot of amazing qualities, but we need to find this balance between the two so that we're not hyper independent and we're not also codependent, where we're sort of in that more people pleasing, enabling, codependent side of things. So this season is really about trying to find that balance between independence and being relational and working with other people and recognizing that we're not just an island. So be curious if that shows up for you. So I'm going to get into the main tarot reading using the Aleister Crowley Thoth Tarot deck. I'm just looking at the energies of this week ahead. See what the cards want to say. That one wants to come out. Thank you. I'll show you in a moment. One more, please. Interesting. Yes. Okay. So first one we've got here, Prince of Cups. I feel like recently I've been seeing cups constantly. All about, cups rules relationships, emotions, emotional well-being. There's an emphasis on our well-being this week. We've also got the Fool, taking the leap. Yeah, there is something about the energy. Sorry, my nose is really itchy. Excuse me. Around new beginnings, because we do have this equinox, but there is a sort of a needing to leap, taking a leap of faith kind of energy. We saw this with the full moon in Pisces as well, around because there was a lot of Neptune energy around it. Neptune was sitting right next to this full moon in Pisces, and Neptune rules like dreams and fate. Like when I think of Neptune, I think it's like not interested in being realistic. It's not interested in like what is practical, right? It's the dreamy realms. So there's something around like a need to really take a leap of faith at this time. He's literally like, what I love about the artwork on this particular card, oh, that looks nice and clear today. That's good, isn't it? The artwork on this card is that he's not actually, he's jumping into the abyss. There's not even like anything, He's not even stood on anything, right? He's just in the air, just leaping, just jumping. He's not even on like the cliff in like traditional tarot. He's stood on a cliff, but this one is just like suspended in the air. And it really does feel like there's an energy for that. Like there's a need for us to believe that what we want is possible, that we don't actually have to settle for breadcrumbs, is what I'm hearing. Interesting. Feels like for some of you, that has been the case of like, well, it's just not realistic. I can't do that because I need blah, 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 right? But actually, it's like, what if what you really wanted was absolutely possible for you? And I want to go into this a little bit deeper because it feels important. It's like, if you have a desire for something, then you don't get given that desire unless you have the capability to do it. That doesn't mean that you might... Let me think. Let me just think about that for a second. So if you want something, you wouldn't want that thing if you didn't have the capacity to be able to fulfill that. Otherwise, you just wouldn't have it. So the reason we don't go after desires is because of our own kind of limitations that we place on ourselves, or maybe limitations that come from the outside as well. But there's something around like clearing those limitations. Like, what would you do if you trusted your path? What would you do if anything really was possible and there was no practicality? There is something here about really tuning into that this week. We also have the Seven of Wands, Valor. I love this card. I always think this is like, you are stronger than you think, right? This wand at the front here has got loads of notches in it. It's like it's been through some stuff, but it's still standing strong. It's still stood upright. It's valorous, right? The word there is valor. You are stronger than you think. You are more capable than you think. It is possible. Like, that's really what I'm seeing here. Okay. Potential challenges, please. Oops, there it is. Ooh, interesting. I'm going to get another card, actually. I feel like I need a little bit more information. Although, the more I look at it, the more I'm sort of starting to get it. Yeah, okay. Yes. So, Six of Wands, victory. And we've also got Knight of Discs. Yeah, there's something about a lack of belief. Because this card is saying, victory, but with this being in a challenge, there's something about not really believing in yourself. Look at the energy of that card. He is very certain of himself. He is very clear on his direction. I really love the art on this card, actually. It's really cool. And he's protecting himself with this. This shield is really standing out to me here. There's a need to shift your mindset. That's what it is. Best part of the week, please. Sorry, a few too many fell out there. See if any come back out. Yeah, I love this. Balance. It's going to be a more balanced week. I feel like for some of you it's been very out of balance. Things have been out of balance. But this card, if you look at the art on it again, like look at how perfectly balanced it is. Like the fire and the water, the pouring the fire and the water into this vessel here. There's something about, this is the Temperance card in traditional tarot, where, yeah, it's all about, like, with this being the best part of the week, things are going to feel more balanced. And again, with all this Libran energy, Libra is the scales. Libra is about bringing that balance back. So if you felt like things have been really out of balance, we've got that to look forward to this week. So that's really nice. So I feels like, it does feel to me like in the realms of sort of like not being too focused on like one thing, if you know what I mean. Like you're going to be able to bring back some of those like health habits and like taking care of your health a little bit more. It feels like health, it feels specifically, or like maybe you've been neglecting relationships and that's going to come back into the scene a little bit more now. So that's really nice. Okay, guidance to navigate this week, please. Libra's card, balance. It's all, yeah. So look at these two together. Sorry, bring that back a little bit. It is so much focus on balance. I know they're not the same card, but that's so funny. It's like, this is all about bringing that balance back this week. That's what you're being asked to do. But it's also this, yeah, the Fool here, taking the leap of faith, trusting that you are stronger than you think, that yes, you might have been knocked a few times, and maybe some of you, it feels like someone has knocked your confidence. But it's up to us to bring that back. It's up to us to build ourselves back up again. It's like, you know what I mean? Like no one's coming to save you. Oh, that's a bit of a tough one to hear, isn't it? No one is coming to save us. And that doesn't mean that we can't get support from people, but ultimately it comes down to us. If we've had the knocks but there's something in us, there's burning desire in us, and there are things that are holding us back mentally, it's up to us to do that shadow work, to do that getting really deep and real and honest and saying it out loud, and really like knowing that you've got it, knowing, just like being firm in this. There's something that really needs to be firm. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna actually get a few more cards. I feel called to use this deck. One moment. Yes, bear with me, just a little bit more guidance. For this week ahead, please. Interesting. I'll show you in a second. Guidance for those watching, please. What messages want to come through? Oh, this is fascinating. Two really similar cards. I get one more, please. Yes. All right. So I have to bring these out together because they're so similar. So we've got Keepers of the Earth and Council of Light. So both of these cards are referencing help. So for some of you, it feels like you feel like you're really alone with stuff. Because look, this one has got this help here, right? You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. And this one, helpers in the subtle realms. So this is both speaking to getting help in the earthly realms, right? Whether that's coaching, mentoring, readings, like counseling, whatever, or just friends, family, getting help. You don't actually have to do this alone. It feels like for some of you, for whatever reason, you've been holding all of the responsibility. I feel like this theme has been coming up for a bit recent actually, where it's like, why are you doing this all yourself? Again, in the spirit of Libra is about helping others. Other people around you collectively are going to be, you might see people being more forthcoming with support because that is the collective energy right now. Like it is about relating. That's what Libras are so good at. They're so charming and so, friendly and easy to talk to, right? And then also on your spirit team as well, getting help. Like when you're doing tasks, you could be asking for more help from you know, like not this feeling of like I have to do everything and this like heavy, I'm suddenly feeling like this heaviness here of like, oh, just like the world on your shoulders. It's like there is actually more support here. You don't have to do this all on your own. And of course you can't do it all on your own. I feel like someone needs to hear that. Like, why would you do it all on your own? Because you can't. We all need help. Everybody needs help. No one is truly self-made. No one is. Like, even the ones that work really hard and whatever, they have a team, they have friends, they have family, they have all the rest of it. Because you've been training for this for lifetimes. You are so ready for this change. You're so ready to take this leap. But you do need help. You're not supposed to do this alone. You are more than capable. Yes, you've had some difficulties. And maybe there's something, maybe for some of you, there's something you've really wanted and it's not happened yet, or you've been like really like trying, but then you keep getting knocked back and it's like knocked your confidence or something. Like, I feel like the message is like really don't lose hope and faith in that. Those setbacks were there for a reason. Maybe you just weren't ready for it at that point, but keep going. If you still have the desire, it's like, I always think of the expression like, wanting is evidence of having, right? If you want something, then you already have it. And maybe if this is really resonating for you, a nice practice could be to like visualize yourself already having that thing. And not just even visualize, but you could visualize, but imagine the feeling. Like, let's say you want like a new job or something. Imagine you already have it. Feel like you already have it. What's the feeling that new job would get you? What's the frequency of that feeling? That's what abundance work is. It's about feeling the feeling that you want from that. So let's say it's security or happiness or joy or whatever it is, and just like embodying that feeling first, rather than in this sort of like, it's always in the future, it's always over there. It's like you can have that feeling now. Whatever you think that thing is that you want is going to bring you, embody that feeling now. That's abundance work. That's manifestation work. I don't know, it feels important to talk about. Let me know if that resonated for you, that last bit, or if that felt helpful, because I do think that is a piece that we don't talk about a lot in manifestation. Is like, you're, in terms of being a vibrational match, it's like you are embodying the frequency, the feeling of having the thing that you want already before you actually have it, because then you already do have it, right? Because the feeling is what you want anyway. We only ever want things because of a feeling it's going to bring us. So you can embody that feeling now. Like, what is that feeling? Identify the feeling, feel the feeling, take some time doing that, meditate on it, and like immerse yourself in it. Sorry, that was a little bit of a tangent, but that just felt important, like someone maybe needs to hear that. So let me know in the comments if that was helpful. I'm happy to talk about this a little bit more if that was. But yeah, so for this week, hopefully that's about everything I'll go through. I'll see you later on in the week. I'll do some more videos. And in the meantime, I hope you have a marvellous week. Thank you so much for watching that. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you. Mwah.